let's talk about, the stuff that outside of the squared circle, outside of wrestling.
Sure.
Outside of wrestling, the NWA and Joe Cazana Promotions is involved in so many charity efforts
Oh my
and
gosh,
has
yes.
helped out with so much in the uh, in the Tennessee area, the Knoxville area. Let's talk about some of the stuff that you have done, um, both yourself and the company have done for people in your community. With kinds
Sure.
of charity things or charity work have you done to help out in your community?
You know, Down here where I am, I'm in between Knoxville and Chattanooga. So you know, I, I do stuff down in Chattanooga, Cleveland, Athens, here in Decatur. I do stuff up in Knoxville and what have you. Um, a lot of the shows that I do, I would say probably the bulk of them are usually benefit type shows, and I shouldn't really say benefit, but more fundraising for sports teams or something to that effect. That's kind of the way we operate as sponsors. They'll pay for the show. Um, Pretty much, you can't do one of these things for free. A pro wrestling show, it's impossible to do for free. It really truly is. Certain benefit shows you probably can, and I've been on a bunch of them, and I've done a bunch of them for families that have been in need, or maybe somebody had passed away and they couldn't afford the funeral expenses, and we put a show together to be able to do something like that. But most of the things that I do now encompass basically high school football programs. Uh, Believe it or not, we've done benefits for cheerleaders, soccer teams, baseball teams, just the various sports teams in the area. When we did the territory show in Knoxville, a portion of the gate went straight to the Carnes High School football program just to help them get new uniforms and that kind of thing. And that's kind of what we do, and that's kind of the reputation that we have at NWAJCP is you got a sports program, whether it's football, basketball, underwater basket weaving. If you want to try to do something, we'll be more than happy to come in and help out. 90% of these people, they do have sponsors. They've got booster clubs, for example, that will step in and say, okay, we'll incur the cost of this. What can you bring in for this? And I always go above and beyond. So I mean, it whatever show I bring, it's going to be a top flight show. But it's basically like I said, we do stuff for the sport teams, or and we've done things for the JCs. We're in Athens or down in Cleveland. Um, the Masonic Lodge, we've done stuff, with them, believe it or not. But I mean, it's just that's kind of the extent of our fundraising. If I, like I said, if I do benefit shows and we do freebie type shows, it's to take care of um, flood victims like we did, up in Kingsport here not too long ago. Or if somebody passes away, like I said, and they can't pay for their funeral, or they need help with that, we try to step in. And if they ask us, or even if I know the people, we try to go in and we try to help them do stuff like that. Um, but that's the extent of it, which is probably, I mean, that's, to me, that's, I don't know if that's above and beyond what anybody does or what, but I mean, we just try to have that reputation again of being a caring company, especially the NWA. I mean, the NWA, they take care of the community. I mean, we went into Tampa a few weeks ago, and the money basically went to the hurricane victims. I mean, they got hammered back to back with hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to
Hard.
go in there. Yeah, we were supposed to go to Sarasota for Samhain too, and it ended up getting destroyed. So we moved it up to Tampa, and then the Sarasota people, we tried to take care of them as far as the gate and all that stuff. So I mean, that's kind of what we do there. I mean, and we'll go out. The wrestlers will go out, and they'll go to the. I think that NWA and Walmart have a pretty good relationship together, and the wrestlers will go to the WalMarts, and I mean, and that's not really what you'd consider fundraising, but it's community relations, and that kind of thing. And that's kind of what we do with the NWA. But that fundraising is a big thing that we do here. We try to we just try to make money for these sport teams or cheerleaders or JCs or nowadays it's so hard for these people to generate any kind of funds, and if we can bring in a pro wrestling show and they can make $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever, then that's great. One of the shows we did down here for the football program, they literally made $9,000. You know, so I mean, it's possible, it's doable. That's what we do here for like fundraising, and sports is really big in this part of the country, and sports is really big where we are in relation to the location of Knoxville and Chattanooga, and we're close to Crossville. We're close to the Alabama state line. We're close to the Georgia state line. So sports is huge, and there's 1,000 sports programs, and all of them need money. So that's kind of where we try to help.
Or was there like a moment that was just so heartwarming, being able to give back to a certain cause or anything that you would like to share?
Anytime that we've done anything when it comes to destruction, um, that's always been big for me. The Tampa tapings, the stuff that we did in here. We've had tornadoes come through here. We've had just terrible weather coming through here, especially in the last few years. And anytime that I can help somebody like that, that's the best thing in the world. One of the biggest fundraisers I ever did, and I did it as I did it as a wrestler a lot of years ago. It Make a Wish, the Make a Wish
Mm-hmm.
Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and I did a few of those. Nowhere near John Cena's record, but I did a few of those. And one of the ones that we did was we did a show for this couple of these kids, and they were in wheelchairs, and they just love professional wrestling. And not only did we do the show for them at the arena, but we also went back to their house with them. And that right there was probably the biggest thing that these kids took away from it. It wasn't the fact that, oh, Joe Cazana and Sting and guys like that are standing here in my living room. It was We were just regular people at that point, and we were just trying to do something to help them. So yeah, the Make a Wish thing was really big back then too, the way it is now. But it's always best for me. It's always been better to do something like that, the Make a Wish, or when somebody does have some destruction out there, or you're trying to help somebody just recover from their husband dying, and he's the only source of an income, and what am I going to do, and that kind of thing. It makes you feel good to help them out. Makes you feel good to help them out and them not know it's you. That's it's kind of like the GoFundMe's. I know that people get carried away with those, but I also know the last couple that I've actually donated to, they needed it. And again, both of them were in the wrestling business. One of them's house burnt to the ground, and the other one lost a lot to a fire. So that was, that a lot. Like I said, a lot of those GoFundmes is garbage, and you and I both know that. But if you kind of know the situation, the background, it makes you feel good when you try to help them out, whether it's $1 or $1,000. It's just really nice. But it's always been the people who's lost something, or the Make the Wish Foundation and things like that. That's always been the best for me,
Why do you feel passionate about giving back to your community?
because I would like to think that if something happened to me or my family, they'd do the same. What's the golden rule? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not, I know that one. But no, I learned that from my granddad. You take care of your people. Um, I, I, I'm, I am not that same guy that you see on television. Let's just put it that way. The guy you see on television is I'm portraying somebody. I'm a cross between John Dutton, J.R. Ewing, and Boss Hogg, all rolled into one. Uh, but Joe Cazana sitting here talking to you is just I'm just a regular guy, and um, I just want people to I just want people to in this day and age. I just want people to survive. You know, I mean, in this day and age, it's. I feel so sorry for the kids. I mean, I've never been glad to be 60 years old, but I am. I'm glad to be this old because I don't have to live to see what this world's going to become in 30 years or 40 years. They do, and I'm scared. I'm scared for them. But all that's just me. But it's just I want to take care of these people, and again, one day they may have to take care of me. So I don't want those people to say, "Oh, that Joe Kazana was a jerk." You know, yeah, he was a jerk in the ring, but outside the ring, he's a pretty nice guy. You know, that's it.
Yeah. It's all about being good to other people
Right.
and treating people the way you would want to be treated. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. But I tell the kids all the time, and this is something that I've always lived by: be careful who you step on your way up that ladder, because I'll tell you now, you're going to hit them on your way back down. You got to be very, very careful, and that's why I live like I live.
Yes.